Single dad applied for a janitor job then. The billionaire CEO froze when he heard his name, the receptionist. Barely looked up as the exhausted man stepped into the towering glass headquarters in downtown Chicago. His worn boots carried traces of dried concrete dust. His faded denim shirt had been stitched more than once, and dark circles under his eyes revealed too many sleepless nights. In one trembling hand, he held a neatly folded application for a janitor position. To everyone in the lobby, he looked invisible. But within the next hour, the billionaire CEO of the company would hear his name and completely freeze. A secret buried for nearly 25 years was about to change two broken lives forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, second chances, and compassion can change someone's destiny, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories that remind us humanity still exists. Nathan Carter had never imagined his life would become a daily battle just to survive. 5 years earlier, he had owned a small construction company in Ohio. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills and allowed him to give his wife, Sarah, and their little son, Caleb, a comfortable life. Then tragedy arrived without warning. Sarah was diagnosed with an aggressive illness that consumed their savings faster than Nathan could earn money. Every dollar disappeared into hospital visits, treatments, medications, and hope that slowly faded away. When Sarah passed away, Nathan didn't just lose the love of his life. He lost his business, his home, and nearly his faith. Now every sunrise meant another struggle to raise 12-year-old Caleb alone. Nathan accepted every temporary job he could find. He painted houses, unloaded trucks, repaired fences, cleaned warehouses, and sometimes skipped meals so Caleb could have enough to eat before school. Despite everything, Nathan refused to let bitterness enter his son's heart. Every night, he reminded Caleb that people should be judged by the kindness they show, not by the money they own. After another construction contract unexpectedly ended, Nathan found himself with barely enough cash to pay for groceries. While scrolling through old job listings at the public library, he noticed a janitor opening at one of the largest technology companies in Chicago. The position offered health insurance, steady pay, and enough stability to finally stop moving between cheap apartments. The interview wasn't for an executive office. It was simply for a cleaning position. Still, Nathan ironed his only decent shirt, borrowed bus fare from a neighbor, and traveled nearly 4 hours to reach the company's headquarters. The building itself felt like another world. Glass walls reflected the morning sun, polished marble floors sparkled, and employees hurried confidently through the lobby carrying expensive laptops and coffee cups. Nathan quietly waited with several younger applicants, feeling older and smaller with every passing minute. One by one names were called. Finally, the receptionist spoke. Nathan Carter. He stood, took a deep breath, and followed her toward a conference room. The hiring manager asked ordinary questions about cleaning equipment, work schedules, and previous experience. Nathan answered, honestly. He admitted he had never worked as a professional janitor, but explained that years in construction had taught him discipline, responsibility, and attention to detail. The manager appreciated his honesty, but remained uncertain. She excused herself for a moment, intending to retrieve additional paperwork. At that exact moment, the company's billionaire CEO, Jonathan Brooks, happened to walk past the conference room. Jonathan rarely participated in entry-level interviews. His calendar was packed with billion-dollar meetings and investors from around the world. Yet something caught his attention. He overheard the hiring manager casually mention the applicant's name. Nathan Carter. Jonathan suddenly stopped walking. His expression changed instantly. He quietly stepped closer. He asked only one question. Did you say Nathan Carter? The hiring manager nodded, confused. Jonathan slowly opened the conference room door. Nathan looked up politely, expecting another executive. Instead, he saw a sharply dressed man staring at him with watery eyes. Jonathan could hardly breathe. Although 25 years had passed, he recognized the face. Older, tired, marked by hardship, but unmistakably, the same man. Nathan, however, showed no sign of recognition. Years earlier, before Jonathan became one of America's youngest billionaires, He had been a frightened 18-year-old college freshman whose father had suddenly died. His family lost everything almost overnight. Homeless and desperate, Jonathan had wandered into a small Ohio town searching for work. No one would hire him. Hungry and exhausted, he eventually collapsed outside a construction site. Everyone walked past him. Everyone except one young foreman named Nathan Carter. Nathan bought him lunch, then another meal, then offered him temporary work cleaning tools around the construction site. When Jonathan admitted he had nowhere to sleep, Nathan invited the complete stranger into his modest apartment. For nearly 6 months, Nathan asked for nothing in return. He simply believed helping someone in need was the right thing to do. Eventually, Jonathan received a scholarship opportunity in another state. Before leaving, he promised Nathan that one day he would repay his kindness. But life moved quickly. Phone numbers changed. Addresses disappeared. Years passed. Jonathan built a software company from a tiny garage into a global technology empire. He searched for Nathan several times, but never found him. And now, the man who once saved him from homelessness had unknowingly walked into his office asking for a janitor job. Jonathan felt tears forming. Nathan still didn't recognize him. Hardship had erased too many memories. Jonathan gently asked where Nathan had once lived. When Nathan answered with the name of the small Ohio town, every doubt disappeared. Jonathan smiled through his tears. He quietly thanked the hiring manager and asked for a few private minutes. Nathan wondered if he had somehow done something wrong. Jonathan slowly began telling the story of a frightened teenager who had once been given food, work, and shelter by a stranger who expected absolutely nothing in return. As the memories slowly returned, Nathan's eyes widened. He finally whispered the young man's name. Jonathan nodded. Neither man could speak for several moments. Years of pain, gratitude, and unexpected reunion filled the silent room. Jonathan admitted that every success he enjoyed had started because one exhausted construction worker had chosen compassion over convenience. "If you hadn't helped me," he said softly, "none of this would exist." Nathan simply lowered his head. He hadn't remembered because helping people had never been extraordinary to him. It had simply been who he was. Jonathan refused to let the interview continue. Instead of offering Nathan a janitor position, he offered him something entirely different. He created a new role overseeing maintenance operations across every company building in the Midwest, complete with leadership training, excellent salary, retirement benefits, healthcare, and flexible hours so Nathan could continue raising Caleb. Nathan tried to refuse. He insisted he wasn't qualified. Jonathan smiled. The qualifications that matter most cannot be taught. Within weeks, Nathan's life completely transformed. Caleb transferred into a better school. Their small apartment became a comfortable home. Medical insurance finally allowed Nathan to receive treatment for an old back injury he had ignored for years. But Jonathan didn't stop there. He quietly established a scholarship in Sarah's memory for children who had lost a parent. Every year, dozens of students received opportunities because of the kindness Nathan and Sarah had once shown a struggling young man. The company also launched an employee volunteer program encouraging workers to help homeless shelters, food banks, and struggling families throughout Chicago. Jonathan reminded every executive that billion-dollar profits meant little if people forgot how to care for one another. Nathan never became famous. His story never appeared on magazine covers. Most employees simply knew him as the humble supervisor who greeted everyone with respect, remembered birthdays, and stayed late to help new workers learn their jobs. Years later, Caleb graduated from college with honors. During commencement, he told reporters that everything he believed about success came from watching his father choose kindness, even when life gave him every reason not to. If this story has touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video. Leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe for more inspiring stories that celebrate hope, forgiveness, and the incredible power of simple acts of kindness. Special request, before this story ends, tell us in the comments, have you ever received or given a kindness that changed someone's life forever? Nathan had entered that building believing he was asking for the smallest opportunity imaginable. Instead, he discovered something far greater than a job. He discovered that genuine kindness never truly disappears. Sometimes it travels quietly through the years, growing in ways we cannot see, until one ordinary day it returns when we need it most. In a world that often measures people by wealth, titles, or appearances, Nathan's journey became a timeless reminder that the greatest investment anyone can ever make is in another human being. And sometimes, the smallest act of compassion writes the most extraordinary ending of all.